already have a box designed and I want to put icons on it. Now we can put icons on anything, but I'm going to put some icons to laser cut. So I use a website called Flat Icon. So it's flaticon.com. And then I search for some things, whatever I want. It's thundering and lightning out right now and pouring, so I thought I'd search for thunder. And let's go with this one. Things you have to pay attention to. Is it free or do you have to pay? And what's the license for it? Always pay attention to your copyright. Free for personal and commercial use with attribution. That's awesome. Now I'm going to download the SVG. Again, if I'm working on my laser cutter or my camera, I want to work with SVGs, vectors. I can use a PNG from somewhere, but then I got to do an extra step. So I download my PNG, my SVG, I'm sorry. And it's a free download, so I don't have to pay for it. I just have to make sure I can attribute those people. And close this, and it came down as energy to SVG. Now I want to go to my laser software. And I want to import that. And I had to make sure I paid attention to the name. It was energy, right? Yeah, it was energy. Energy.svg. So here we go. Now, that's a little big. So I'm going to have to resize it. But there's something else. I'm cutting things out. So which line do I really want to be the cut line? Do I want this inside line to be the cut line, or I want this outside line to be cut line? Only one of them matters, because once I cut that outside line, that inside line is going to be gone anyways. So I'm going to have to get rid of one of those lines. And then I can, if I didn't like these little things, I get rid of them too. Now, in order to do that, I have to ungroup the image, because it's 1, 2, 3, 4 lines right now, 4 separate pieces all into one. Now I've made it 4 different ones. So I could move that there. I could delete that. I've already got one of those, and then I get to choose which one I want. Let's just play with the rounded one. And then we go here. And now I've got 2 things I can play with. I could delete that little one if I didn't want it. Again, once I ungrouped them, there's separate things. And when we're talking cutting icons, you got to be careful of a cut line inside of a cut line. So now I need to just resize it. And that's your basic image resize. I could stretch it too. I don't want it to be like more of that kind of thing. Does that fit? No, it still doesn't fit. So I want to grab a corner and shrink it down and then put it on. I may want to rotate a little bit. Again, you're just playing with images now. The important thing was that when I brought that image in, and I'll bring another one in so you can see. Import. Oh, what were the good ones I played with before? Oh, let's grab that beaker one. Look at all those lines. I mean, once it cuts this outline, everything on the inside is irrelevant. But maybe I do like the inside stuff. Okay. So let's ungroup that. And maybe I'd rather have the inside stuff. So I can delete the outside because I want that kind of a look. But now these 3 little dots, these holes don't matter. So I'm going to delete them. Now, be very careful before you move this. It's 3 separate lines, so they move separately. So I'd have to group it again. So we ungroup so we could edit and tweak some of the lines, get rid of some. And then if I want to move it all as one, if it's like separate images, separate lines, I need to regroup it. Boom. So we're grouped. And then again, resize, grab corners, and then drag and drop, and still probably, it's a little big. I haven't found out a good way to kind of center it here. You just have to look at the grid lines and do the best you can. So there, now here's the other thing I want to do. It's going to, because these are black and these are red, it gives me 2 ways to adjust the settings. But if they're the same setting, it's going to do the same thing. They're not. Their power is different. Okay. Like an etching, like black, I would want it to etch, so I would change the power and the speed settings, where red I'd want to cut if we were etching. So that's how the etching would work with, using designs on something. But again, I want these cut out, so I'm going to make them red. so that they just all fit under one mode. There's black there because this thing's still here. I need to. Well, I'll bring you in just for fun. I'll bring you in just for fun, and I'll make you red. See, the black went away because now they're all red, and so now I'm gonna pick one set of settings, set of powers and speed, and cut them out. So there was bringing images into your software. Now I could bring in. Let me bring in a box. Let me bring in a PNG. I'll show you that. Import. Like I said, you could use PNGs, but they have a little bit different. See, this is not a vector, so it doesn't. It says it's there, but I don't think it's going to do anything. It's an image. It doesn't know what to do. So you need to trace it. So up here somewhere there should be trace image, and then you play. See, there's a. You might not be able to see, but there's a purple that you play with the cutoff, play with the threshold to try and get the best image. But it did a good job. So now you have two things actually. You've got this vector, and you got this image. I don't care about the image. Delete it. And now we're back to we've got vectors. So which vector do you want to deal with? Again, they're grouped. So you can ungroup them. And then I'm going to get rid of the outside one just to have some design. And those dots don't matter. They're inside of a cut line. And then I'm going to resize it. And I'm going to put it on my box. There we go. Images. Thanks for joining.